Well, hello YouTube. We're back in the shop. Another day. Another day, a little bit closer. I'd like to think that we're getting a little bit closer to getting this guy done, but I don't know. I don't know. It's just one thing after another. You know what they very wise man once told me, if you ever want to hear God laugh at you, tell him your plans. Tell them your plans. So no, so we're back in the shop. Had a lot of things, life, those things called life, those unpreventable events in life that you have to take care of and deal with. So no, got those taken care of. Everything's good to go. And yeah, you don't want to be distracted by external forces or external things while you're building an airplane. It just leads to possible bigger issues. So, but we're here in the shop, and I appreciate it. Let me get the camera adjusted. I appreciate you guys joining me and everything. So hopefully today we're going to get this done, and that's going to translate to a finished product, except for then we got to work on the elevator trim surfaces, which is coming up next, which will be nice. But, yeah, am I not happy with the progression? Absolutely. But hey, it is what it is, and this is not something you want to rush through. I'm learning a lot. The nice thing about it is this, I would have to say this part of the build, it's a pretty good learning experience, especially if you want to slow build the wings. If this is kicking your butt and you cannot, and I'm talking about building the elevators, if building the elevators is kicking your butt, you might want to go to a slow build. There's a lot of tedious, a lot of one-off kind of stuff. It's not something that you're gonna breeze through. I thought I was gonna get through this in 1 month and be done with it, because everything else I got through in 1 month and was done with it. No. Even if everything from a personal standpoint worked out and did what I expected it to do, and I laugh when I say that, this is easily a 2-month operation. These elevators are definitely a 2-month operation. So there's a lot of paying attention, a lot of nuance, a lot of just stuff you got to do. You got to work it out. A lot of reading, reading, and then rereading again. It's a little bit more than what I've had to do on the other components of the airplane. But hey, we're going to get through it together. So enough of me talking. You know the routine. This plane's not going to build itself, and I'll come back if there's anything that I feel that you need to know. All right, YouTube, got it buttoned up. Nothing too crazy. The only thing is, and I'll show you right there, the rivet schedule. I call it the rivet schedule, but that's what needs to be riveted. It clearly calls for the countersinks here, because you cannot reach them with the support. As you can, you guys remember, we basically got a wall here, and you got 2 rivets past those. You cannot get into them, so they allow you to use the pop rivets or the blind rivets with the countersink head, so that way it goes down, and then of course you have your rivet line here. Now in the design, and like I said, I'll show that right here, they actually want you to use it also another type of pop rivet. Well, I get that, and I understand, Vans has that, because if you look at the material, you're actually going through three pieces of metal here instead of just one. So I do understand that. So what I did to keep it consistent, and I could have done a pop rivet as well, countersink pop rivet, but what I did is I used a longer rivet of 4.5 and then measured it and then did it down. Hey, it's an experimental airplane. You're allowed to do that. You can make changes at will, as your plans dictate. That's the nice thing. But so I decided to just use a longer rivet, and then and then squeeze it down instead of using the pop rivet here. but you could have done that just as easily. Totally up to you in this regard. This is a non-structural kind of thing. This is just putting the skin over. Now I understand why they wanted you to do it. The rule of thumb is you want the head, you know, there is a measurement that you have to make sure that your head's not too flat, and that's why I used a longer rivet than what's called for, and then squeezed it down so that way there was plenty of head still protruding and enough mooshed out, or I guess mooshed, that's a technical term, mooshed out, that, you know, gives you good good connection, good bonding. You know, what makes rivets stronger than other fasteners is the fact that they expand and there's no space for vibration. Vibration leaves will cause wear and tear, stresses and stuff like that. So, but we got this one done. So, and like I said before, I'm gonna leave this open because I'm gonna do, we've got a couple wedges, and I'll show that here, that need to be cut and then wedged up in here. The foam is up there on the shelf there on the right, those tan looking things. So I have to cut those out and then put them in there. The other thing is I also need some for the elevator trim. This is the trim that goes in here. So it's another part of the wing that will trim, allow you to set your trim. And you know, anybody that flies knows that trim is a poor man's autopilot. Good trimming. You can trim an airplane, believe it or not. For those that don't fly, you can trim an airplane for straight and level flight. You don't need an autopilot. You know, and it's not that difficult to do. It's not, you know, a lot of people, you know, have the video game and they know, no, it's very easy to do in an actual real airplane. Actually, a real airplane is much easier to fly than even a simulator. So, so yeah, so this is for the trim that's going to go here, another wing, but that's going to have two more wedges. And the way that you stick those wedges is the same Pro Seal that you use to seal these leading edges back together with. So, so instead of wasting Pro Seal, and I know it's not a big waste, it's about $19 or so, but hey, waste not, want not, right? So, so what we're going to do is we'll seal those in, do the Pro Seal, do it all at once, at one fair swoop. One thing I do have to do that I did make a mistake on is, as you can see, I got primer here. I need to take some acetone and stuff and get this primer off because I want the Pro Seal actually sticking to the metal versus the paint, because the primer can come off unless you lose that surface. So, all right, so that's about it. And then the rest of the day will be disassembling this. I got some marking to do on this one, and I'm going to do some, you know, for the bluing. I found out that it's easier to remove these strips of blue while it's in that configuration. So I have that today. I got to remove all those clecos. Just put some notes, lessons learned kind of stuff on this one to make sure that I got them all, and then we're going to get it into prime and then hopefully get it painted. All right, YouTube. Got it all taken apart. I will have to say it does come apart much easier and it goes together. There's two things that I would do before you take it apart. Obviously, take your bluing off. Prior to, it's so much easier when it's together. So take this bluing off ahead of time. That's the first thing. The second thing is, as you guys know, you have, well, you don't know, but we have rivets here that we have to rivet, but then we have to stop. So the plans actually tell you to do that. So before taking everything apart, after you take the skins off here, make sure you mark on your pieces what is bottom and what is top, and then also what is how far across to go, where you have to stop your rivet line. That will help you tremendously. So mark your pieces while it's together as you're taking it apart, so you know what is top, what is bottom. Now, of course, it will all those marks will come off with the acetone when you acetone everything. But by then, you should have all your parts dimpled, and that should help you from making any dimpling mistakes, dimpling the wrong parts or the wrong side or whatever. Because there are, as you can see here, these are all dimpled. And then these are all dimpled, but you have to stop here. And then in the back, there's the same thing. You have some that, well, they all get dimpled in the back, but mainly this guy right here, this line of rivets, you have to stop. Everything gets dimpled here. So, but like I said, it's just a good idea since you got the part, since as you're pulling the pieces off to mark what is top, what is bottom, and everything. So those are my only two suggestions. You know, take the bluing off while it's together. Makes life a lot easier, and make sure that you mark your pieces here, your spars. There you go, I got it. I was having another moment there where I couldn't remember spar. In my last video, I had a problem remembering spar. So remember that those spars. Also, you have two of these side clamps. So I marked them outward and inward, which reflect the outward obviously is this guy here, and then the inward is this guy here. So make sure that you mark those appropriately. Now you're going to kind of know what this one is because after here when we start dimpling procedures, which we won't do today, but we're going to dimple these two here where the other one is not dimpled. So that's kind of how you know. As I said earlier, if you watched, I forgot to dimple these guys, so I had to dimple this one as I was putting it together. So what I did is I made sure that I transferred that knowledge over to the part over there, and that's what it's all about. And then I realized that I did not seal this side up, so I'll have to do that. So yeah, just you know, little things, nothing major. I'm gonna leave this one. I think yeah, I know why I left this one open, because I wanted to be able to get inside there to kind of look at those rivets so I can compare those rivets when I do the other rivets. So yeah, that's about it for today. I think we, you know, like I said, I kind of condensed two videos into one today, 2 days into one. And because there's not a whole lot going on, I'll just be honest with you. Building an RV10, you know, let me switch over here. All right, so much better. Much better, much better. Got my gator hat on today. I don't think you guys see me wear this one and everything. So, man, it is still warm in the shop today. I know you guys don't want to hear those, you guys that are up north and everything. Yeah, it's in the 80s here. So I don't have the fan on because it is comfortable. It's not in the 90s. It's a little overcast, so and we got a nice little breeze coming in. So, you know, sweating is good. It clears out, gets all those poisons out of your system and stuff. So, yeah, so I combined 2 days worth of videos into just one, because one thing about building an RV, it is rewarding. It's like anything else, you know, you put in the work, you put in the effort, you know, and you get the reward. It's awesome. That's how life should be, right? No one's going to do it for you. That's how life should be. You put in the work and you take what's yours. Nothing wrong with that. Don't be bashful about it. But building, there's a point, I just have to say, there's a point, it's very repetitive in nature. And Vans knows this. You know, I don't think they just stumbled across it. They have you do an order of operation. There's a reason why they make you do the vertical first, and then the rudder, and then the horizontal, and then the elevators, which is what I'm on now. The reason being is because you build upon your skills. You really do. where I'm at today to where I was when I started to build my trusty. I gotta pull this sucker out. This is a blast from the past. I built this guy. You know, my toolbox, the kit, and I do recommend you guys order this toolbox, but don't fixate on it. You know, it will help you familiarize yourself with the tools. That's really what I got out of the kits, is it helps you familiarize. You know, hey, this is how the squeezer works. Oh, I don't want to stick my finger in there. You know, this is oh wow, you get impressed real quick on how well the drill bits go through the metal. It will give you an appreciation of the tools, you know, and how things work. It kind of helps you with that. But learning how to build the actual plane, you're gonna get that when you start building the plane. You're gonna make mistakes. I remember when I when I had to cut out rivets, I was like, oh my God, I got to the point now, you guys saw me crank out 20, I had to cut out 20 rivets on my last mistake, right? You guys that don't remember where I went ahead and riveted this section here, but there's a piano hinge that goes in here. So you guys saw that. It is no big deal. 3 months ago, I was like, oh, that, you know, it would have been a big deal. And by the way, if you're going to, and you're going to cut out rivets, I'll just be honest with you, it's going to happen. You need to go ahead and order yourself a set of oops rivets. You just need to have them. You're going to make mistakes. And that's going to help you fix those mistakes and with very to no noticeable issues visually outside. So highly recommend that you get those oops rivets. I'm just looking at some things. Wow, I still get amazed looking at this airplane. So yeah, you know, you're gonna make mistakes. We all do. You know, oh well. But don't get caught up on it. You know, it's like everything else. You got to put in the work, though. You know, as I think The Rock would say, you know, put in the work, put in the effort, and then take what's yours. You've earned it. And that's the truth, you know. So be proud of your work and everything. But getting back to building, there is a reason. And please have faith in vans, have faith in the builders that came before you, and and you're gonna learn. Don't be afraid. Do it. Get out there and get building. Get building your airplane, be it RV-10, RV-14, RV-12, whatever you're building. Get out there and build it. Get going. That clock of life is counting down. Don't sit on your couch and 4 years from now wish that you would have done it. You would have started 4 years ago. You know, it's not that hard. It really isn't. You will learn as you will get better. I mean, now with what I've done so far, I am confident there is nothing that I can't do when it comes to building an airplane. I am super confident, not arrogant, but confident that there is nothing that I can't do. I can rivet, I can cut, I can measure, I can do all those things that I need to do to build an airplane. I can also burn the shop down. I had to undo my soldering iron that I used to cut the bluing off. Yeah, you just got to do it. No big deal. It is time consuming. It is. Sometimes life gets in the way. Sometimes, you just don't feel motivated to do it, to get in here and work on it. And I get that. I get like that too. But, I love doing this. I love building airplanes. I could easily quit my profession that I do now if someone offered me a job to work on airplanes the rest of my life, oh yeah, I would be there, and I would take that pay cut. Because I love doing this. I love working on the airplanes. But yeah, you just got to do it. You know, don't let it intimidate you. It is not that hard to do. You're gonna make mistakes. You know, you just got to fix them. That's part of the process, though. That's part of the process. I think Vans is actually factors that in to when they have you do things. The plans are written in such a way that you build upon the plans and how to read them. At first, it looks like it's intimidating as all get out. But as you read them, you learn, and then the plans get more, you know, I don't want to say more difficult. You can't use that word anyways. Those words don't go together. But they will over time get, there is a complexity to them. But the thing is that you get it. You understand it. You understand what they mean. And the only way you're going to understand that is you got to do it. And you just got to put it together and then go, oh, that's what they meant. Yeah. So, yeah, get out there, do it. If you want to build an RV-10 or any airplane, if you want to build this, you got to do it. It's very important, though, that you do have a good support system. Vans is outstanding. I can't speak for the other builders, but I'm sure that the other manufacturers, but I'm sure they have good support as well. Some of them do. But, yeah, it's just, that's critical. Also, make sure you belong to the EAA, the Experimental Aircraft Association. Great resources. I can't tell you how many members have come out to help me or to, you know, show me. We've got the EAA group that I belong to. I belong to two, one in Williston and the one in Brooksville. They have a lot of RV builders in that group. I think we had a raise of hands. We had about 60 people at the meeting or thereabouts. And I would say over 3/4 of them have built airplanes. Pretty good builder group. It's an outstanding club. If you're ever in the area, Florida, Brooksville, come and join us first Saturday of every month. We do breakfast. But yeah, get with a good builder group. But yeah, you just got to do it. If I can do it, you can do it. And you know, it's not. You will learn. It's just one of those things. You will learn by doing. The kit is designed that way. You just got to stick to it. You do have to put in the back of your mind, next 2 years, free time, you know, you got to be in the shop working and everything. And, you know, give up 2 hours a night of watching TV. You know, it sucks that intelligence out of your head anyways, and come in and do something that's going to make you smarter. Make you use this and also use this a little bit. We all can use that. So that's enough of me just ranting and raving. But yeah, it's a lot of rinse and repeat. Going forward, what I'll do is do an introduction as I come across things that I feel that will be beneficial to you as a builder. I'll share those with you, like, you know, making the decision to change the rivets out from what was planned and just making sure that you use longer rivets and everything. So things like that. Order of operations, how to put parts together, what works out better, how they fit together. Riveting, there is, believe it or not, by the way you put rivets around other rivets or other holes, makes it easier to get those holes to align. They will align, have faith. I've yet to find any of the parts not come together as planned. So Vans has done an outstanding job there as well. So without sounding like a Vans fanboy, and I love their airplanes. But I just have to say thanks. Thanks for joining me in the shop. Like always, be safe. If you have a comment, make sure you leave it in the bottom. I'll be glad to answer them. Keep it to the airplane. Don't care about all the other stuff. You know the rules and everything. But, you know, like always, be safe. Once again, it's starting to get crazy around there. And I just want to say happy Hanukkah and Merry freaking Christmas to everybody out there. Merry Christmas to you guys. Not freaking, but Merry Christmas to everybody out there. Be safe. Spend some time with your family. You know, be grateful for what you got. The biggest gift you got is your family. You know, as we're sucking in all those gifts and everything under the tree, just remember, look around and be grateful for what you have. It might not be a lot, but you know, if you got family, you know, that's awesome. If you got a dog, I got a dog, Jojo. It's awesome. I got Sandy, Miss Sandy. She's up north. She kind of got stranded up in North Carolina, where we have a new grandson, Phoenix. Was born the day before Thanksgiving, and she's been up there since Thanksgiving. And now now she's got to stay an additional 14 days. She got the COVID. Imagine that. Went to a hospital and got the COVID. It's amazing how that works, right? So she's up there and everything. So it's going to be Christmas this year is going to be with the youngest daughter and Jojo, the dog, the new addition to the family. So, but like always, just Merry Christmas, God bless, and be safe.